Modern scholars would have you believe that the earth and the heavens and everything in them were made in 7 days by one god. And the historians tell us that the Aesir are men, Trojan warriors raised high by their mortal seeds. In the wild places of the north, we remember an older story. And I tell you now, as I was told by Gylfi himself. Once, there was an age when nothing was. No sand, nor sea, nor chilling wave. There was a yawning void, and it was many ages before our earth was made. Thank you. First came the land to the south. Hot, bright, glowing and burning, filled with sparks, which shot up into the void. Then was made a land to the north. Frozen, full of frost and venom, and great ice waves rolled down into the void until they met with those sparks. And where the sulfurous sparks met with the venomous ice, they melted into the shape of a man as vile and evil as that from which he was formed. It was the ice giant Ymir, who fathered the race of ice giants, which terribly ruled. But not everything that came out of that horrible union was as evil as Ymir. There was also a cow. And the cow found the ice to be salty. And so she licked it. And she spent all day licking and licking at the salty ice. And after the first... This way, please. Okay. After the first day, licking and licking at the ice, she revealed the hair of a man. And she licked and licked for a second day. And at the end of the second day, his head was shown. And she licked and licked and licked, and for the third day, his whole body was shown. And he was very nice to look at, if you were a cow. He was Buri, father of Bor, who was himself, thank you, father of Odin, Vili, and Vet. Odin, of course, you've all heard of. He is the most famous of all the gods and men, whether you believe he was Trojan or not. And Odin and Vili and Ve went to usurp the giants and their evil. And so they went to Ymir and slew him. And the great rivers of blood from his wounds drowned all the other ice giants. And Odin and Vili and Ve, having thus deposed the evil that ruled, dragged his body to the center of the gap, and out of it formed the earth. From his flesh, they made the soil under our feet. From his blood, they formed the seas. From his hair, they made trees. From his bones, mountains. They set his skull above as the firmament, and cast his brains up into the sky as clouds. They then, having created this beautiful earth, walked upon it, and found there 2 trees, which they made into man and woman. Odin gave the man and woman life and spirit. Vili gave them dexterity of mind and body, the power of movement and thought. They named them and gave them clothing. So Odin and Vili and Ve established upon this earth a stronghold that they called Midgard, for the men to live upon and be safe. And they, for their own part, established a second, called Asgard. And in Asgard, Odin sits in a high seat. Where's my gloves? Not all that important. Odin sits in a high seat. He sees everything that happens, and he understands everything that he sees. Odin is father to the races of man and God. The earth herself is his daughter. And all who die in valorous combat will be adopted as his children to fight beside him at the end of the world. In Ragnarok, when the Bifrost Bridge joining Asgard and Midgard will shatter.
Disney, to the field!
But before I can tell you about Ragnarok, I have to fight. Thank you.